Welcome back. We are back playing what I'm expecting to be the last part of What Remains of Edith Finch. We got as far as baby Gregory last time, if I remember. So without further ado, let's crack on and finally complete this.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
This is quite cool.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Ooh, it's rather difficult flying this kite.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, perfect.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Man, fuck you. This kid's got attitude, man. I love it.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Wow, they just, like, disappeared. Woo! Be kite!
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Okay, so what, I'm just wrecking the place?
Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Did he? Oh. Oh, snap. Oh, my damn.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Emergency evacuation plan. First house I've ever seen to have them in. House rules. No playing outside without permission. No answering door for strangers. No messes after dark. All chores before dark. Respect others. I could do some rules like that in my flat. Do we go up here? Wait, am I climbing?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Whoa.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, she had her own diary as well, look. No way.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Can we just look at that view? The atmosphere it creates, it's unreal, it's amazing. Very well detailed as well.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
A little bigger? This house is massive.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
What's this? A little school? I'm guessing then, by power of deduction, they might have been homeschooled, or at least homeschooled at one point in their life. Whoa!
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Yeah, that's one hell of a castle. Can I get in?
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Whoa. Before we have a look at there. Oh, I'd love to wake up to this view every morning, I really would. It's just so relaxing to wake up and look at it. I imagine not for this family, given their history, but that is just fantastic. Whoa. Whoa.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
This kid was artistic as hell. Whoa. Imagine having this as a kid. My God. I'm completely blown away. This is fantastic.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That's really cool. How long did it take him to do this? Makes you think, doesn't it?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
What, disappeared? So he's not necessarily dead then, he just disappeared. So I wonder what happened to him then. I wonder if we'll find out. Because, like I say, everyone else, it's when they died or what have you. But Milton, he disappeared. hope we find out what happened.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Do we have to climb back out?
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
This is... Whoa! How did we not see them stairs? Were they there before? I mean, hang on, let's have a quick test. We open it. Suppose you wouldn't have seen it, would you? Because you're so fixated on that at the time. That's quite good story planning, to be honest. It's the little things. The things in the corner of your eye. It's the little
blamed
things.
Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
It's a plane! Holy shit! Now that is a room.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
There's a letter.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
Right. Sorry, Fishy.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
Wait, what?
wander.
Hello.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
Oh, don't like
And
this.
something moved. Bats. And toads.
This is really difficult to use. Both Analog 64 on the PS4.
And things that have not names.
Right, I'm controlling the fish with the right one, while holding R1 to grab the fish, and the left stick is moving the little man on the left.
He
This
knew
is
it was all in his head,
rather difficult. Oh, that was weird.
but he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I'm stuck. No, I'll go this way. It's a red carpet. And my royalty?
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Yeah, but surely to God he's going to injure
Like a
himself.
whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
So it tells me you're going to regret that decision. Strongly.
I even encouraged him.
Whoa, the screen's getting bigger.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Right, a doggy. Hello, doggy.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Whoa. That's cool how that
He
links
built
in.
the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Oh, we got dancers. This is catchy.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
What would he call it? Lewis and the
And he
Lewises?
was always humming something. day his imagination grew stronger.
Whoa, hello people.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Uh-oh. When you give someone unlimited power like that, that's a bad
He
thing.
held an election for mayor. And he won.
Well, obviously.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Hi people. We're off on a journey now. We're off on an adventure.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Ah. Ooh, this boat's not very
St.
good.
Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
His imagination's not brilliant. These names are kind of basic.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Minneapolis, okay, that
Even
was
as
quite
his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumours of a
good. Ooh, should we go Handsome Queen? Why not?
handsome queen.
Well, that's really
The
messing
queen
with my
was on her
eyesight.
own quest for
Radiant rainbows? Sounds peaceful. Sounds nice.
radiant rainbows.
Don't know what radiant rainbows are. Ooh, that's pretty. Oops. I crashed into the rainbow.
He followed the sound of her
Ooh, should we go Silver Heart? Sounds like it could be romantic here.
Silver
We'll go
Heart.
Silver Heart. Here we go. How's my music? Should be good after all these years.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Where?
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Okay, I completely can't see a thing now, other than a floating fish
He
across
knew
the
the
screen
world
with an
was
arm.
all in his imagination.
Go away, fishies!
But he was so proud of having created it.
Wait, what? Did I do that? Wow!
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming's not
And then it
always
struck
good.
him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah. I'm guessing, I mean I could be wrong, but he had some sort of mental health issue or mental health disorder, given the situation.
He began to forget the world we know.
Right, on.
I
I'll
think it
play
pained
as
him
Lewis
to
now.
remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah, I'm playing as Lewis now, so what? Clearly that's Lewis there. How is there two of us? That's creepy.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
I love how he's moving the fish, but not actually moving the fish. Ah,
I still thought I could save him.
Oh, it takes me up. Rise!
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Oh, I don't even have to walk, it carries me through still. Whoa, what? This is like two worlds colliding.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising me.
Wait, is that Molly the cat as in the family cat?
His queen waited, holding his crown.
That don't look good. I think I can see where this is
There was
going.
only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Oh no.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
That was not the ending I was expecting. Whoa, that really hit something.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Whoa. That's just actually, I'm not even gonna lie, nearly brought a tear to my eye. My days.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
I'm guessing then, this is
wish we'd
Edie's
stayed.
room. I imagine so, because the book's full at this point.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
It's the journal, which we're reading from, which we're marking off.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, You know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
I'm guessing they do have to argue. Whoa, I can't see a thing behind me. Guessing you're not meant to go
The
back
power had
then?
been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
Oh, that was a strong accusation to
I
make.
think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
What?
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches. Wait, is this how you learn all the stories about it then?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Yeah, I imagine it's got some history.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Holy hell. That rolled in quick. Thick and fast.
I got turned around.
Did I? Oh, that's a rock. Wait, what?
I started seeing things.
It's a deer. Hello, deer. Come back.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Wait, is this the house?
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Whoa. I'll tell you what. Consider
Or
it's been
maybe
under an ocean.
I came back to them.
Effort's in very good condition.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
That was a light.
It's mine.
What?
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Does that mean things picked up for you? I hope so. You've been through a lot of shit.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
2014? 2016.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
My days.
Until I found out about you.
Whoa.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Wait, do I have to go through it? What?
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Wait, so did Edith Finch pass away?
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
So wait, am I... Oh... Whoa, she was literally only 19 years old. Whoa. I mean, as a story, the layout is phenomenal. And I tell you what, it really hits home with stuff like mental illnesses, what certain families believe in. And it really does hit home with the emotion side of it as well, because a lot of them were so young. Whoa. Kind of teaches you as well. Make the most of what you've got now and live for the moment. But wow. That really hit home. Wow. Just wow, I don't even know what to say. It was so well written, it was really well written. And you could tell a lot of time and effort's been put into this. Wow. On that note, I'm going to end it here. I'll let the credits finish playing through. Thank you so much for watching this series. I'll put a link and link them all together at the end of each video. What a emotional roller coaster. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Please go check out my videos. Check out the Facebook page as well, Instagram as well. They're both just literally typing the YouTube name, just type in D96 Toxic and they'll come up. They've both got my logo on, I believe. Yeah. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.